Good morning, nation. John here. We 5x5 here before we get to rolling. Happy hump day. 5x5. Thank you, Bama Jen and everybody else. Good morning. Thank y'all for being here. Kelly wrote off first in the house. There's a big shocker. Congrats on that, man. Welcome to the best community on YouTube, son. And that's not saying anything for me. I mean, y'all are awesome in the live chat, and it's appreciated. I know it's the best community on YouTube because every single person in here's hit a thumbs up, right? No? Oh, well. Um, who's in the house before we get started this morning? I saw Farm Girl. Welcome to the chat. Farm Girl had to set up an account just so she could chat. But it's appreciated. Sarah, good morning. I saw McBean in here. Good morning, sir. Dome Seeker sliding in, doing the walk of shame this morning. Forrest, what's up? Mouse is in the house. Cogito, Bernard, GMA Nana, good morning. Chad is flying. Good Lord. Neo Valden, good morning. Chris Marie, what's up? Robin, good morning. Squirrely Radio, here we go. Chad's in the house. Little River Homestead, good morning. Oh man, Handy Prepper, Dark Angel. Man, these green names are paying off now. It is flying. Arc Nanny, good morning. Michael G, what's up, brother? So Jank Man is in the house, and we're gonna get rolling here. I got to tell y'all a story real quick. Y'all got me in trouble, son. Sort of. So I remembered to bring one this morning. This is the jar. This is what I love about these live streams every morning. I'm getting the hang of it because we get to pick up where we left off. We were talking about these jars yesterday, and I brought one for show and tell finally. But y'all got me in trouble. Somebody yesterday had mentioned that they sell these lids on Amazon. So I got on, to verify this. And Amelia, good morning. Paradise Acres, good morning. And sure enough, they're all over Amazon. So my wife gets home from work and I'm smiling. And I'm like, guess what, honey? Oh, you're gonna love this. Sit down. Sit down. I got good news for you. So I tell her about the lids, and she's like, John, honey, I told you this last week. She already knew about it. So I basically outed myself as a husband that doesn't listen all the time. The whole selective hearing thing. So yeah, I heard that for about 10 minutes. I appreciate that, y'all. I gotta listen up more. So this morning we're talking about fishing will be outlawed. Sort of. This is linked down below. It says Intel, and then there's a link that takes you to the article. But it's by the Hill, but it's based on a recent report put out by the EPA. And they're now saying, I know, shame, Okikon. It happens. Bearded Cowboy, welcome to the coffee club. Good morning. This one's for you. So they put out a recent report. They're now saying freshwater fish are no good to eat. They're polluted. Um, people already throwing the finger. Y'all ain't heard it yet. USA Prepping, come on, man. They're like F the EPA. But they're saying freshwater fish are polluted now. Do not eat them. They are now saying they're called forever chemicals. Some sort of chemicals. They don't make a lot of them anymore, but they're forever. They're now saying that freshwater fish 2,400 times higher than they should be on these forever chemicals. They're saying, fish. Yeah, PFAS. Thank you very much, Carrie. That's what I'm looking for. But they're also called forever chemicals for us jabrones. Where you at, Chewbacca? Anyway, um, she's a wildflower. 27 months. Thank you. And she waited 27 months to say FJB. So there you go. That's awesome. They analyzed 349 samples, supposedly. 348 of those were very, very high, way beyond what they recommend for human consumption in terms of the forever chemicals. They're saying lakes and ponds are worse than streams, but they're all bad. They're saying do not eat fish out of these things at this point. You're killing yourself if you do it. But they go on to say in this article, commercial fish are okay. Not kidding. They said a lot of commercial fish, stuff that you can buy in the grocery store, it's either in a controlled environment or it's caught way out yonder somewhere. I don't think they said yonder, but that's a term I use sometimes. They're saying it's okay. Yeah, I call it too. I call BS too, Bama Jen. They're saying, you know, don't go out and fish for yourself and source your own food. But they're saying, go into the store. We got your back. Go into the store and pay these super inflated prices for the fish that's in the store. Or even worse, the fake fish that's in the store. I've seen this stuff, like the silicone trout. I guess it's silicone or silicone trout that they got lined up, the beyond fish or whatever it's called. No, I ain't doing that. They're saying one fish is equal and equivalent to 1 month of you drinking polluted water. This is a huge scare tactic. Now, this could be highly accurate. Who's to say? But my counter argument to this would be, even if that's the case, son, what's in a McDonald's Happy Meal? What's in a Big Mac meal? What's in half of the food that you're buying in the grocery store right now? All the genetic stuff going on. What is in the Beyond Meat? If it's beef jerky, but it's not beef, what is it? They don't want to tell you. Yeah, it can be healthy for you, is what I'm trying to say here. And I believe in coincidences. All right. They happen. Coincidences are a real thing. But as I'm sitting back looking at, okay, so we had a pandemic, and the pandemic kind of sort of led to shortages on many things. I still don't understand the toilet paper shortage, but whatever. We started to see shortages on many other things. And as food got more expensive and the selection kind of dropped on food a little bit, on the back end of the WEF saying, hey, we got an eater problem. We need depopulation, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden we're hit with remember the chronic wasting disease scare? Now again, chronic wasting disease is a real thing. I've seen deer I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. You could burn them at the stake and I wouldn't eat them. I mean, they nasty looking. But they're saying don't eat any deer at this point. Y'all remember that phase we went through? Do not touch venison, they will kill you. And then we transitioned into the bird flu. So now, venison and a lot of the wild game, they said don't touch. Now we've transitioned into you cannot eat fowl. You can't eat birds. You can't eat any of that stuff. The bird flu, son. They're culling the birds. They're culling the chickens. You got the bird flu. You got to kill everything around it. Millions of chickens being completely wiped out. Okay, there's another coincidence stacking up. Maybe. Now we're being told that you can't eat the fish. You can't eat the fish. It's a biblical thing. You teach a man or a woman how to fish to feed themselves. And now, no, the EPA saying, no, son, you can't eat fish. Don't catch your own fish. We will fish for you and we'll sell it to you. And then on top of this coincidence, I think it's worth mentioning. Do y'all remember when they tried to get everybody to register their gardens because they didn't want any victory gardens this time around? It's just too many coincidences. I'm not going to sit here and say chronic wasting disease is not a thing. I'm not going to say they're wrong about the bird flu. I'm not going to say that they're wrong, even about the fish, but one on top of the other on top of the other at just the right time. When food's an issue and they're trying to depopulate, I don't know. Pun intended here, Amelia. It kind of sounds fishy to me. It does. Sounds fishy. It sounds like they don't want you to eat. It sounds like they're trying to get rid of people. That's opinion on my part, but I mean, in the chat before we move on, are y'all still, you fishermen, are you still going to eat? They're saying, or are y'all still going to go out and fish, even though they're saying not to do it? They haven't outlawed it just yet, but that's probably coming at some point. They've regulated it kind of heavy in spots anyway. It just takes a report or two like this to pop off, and then they're going to try and do away with it. But I don't know. It's just too much, man. You can't eat fish. You can't go get your own food. Half of the, well, not half. That's an exaggeration, maybe a quarter of what I'm seeing right now in the grocery stores. People will say all the time, they'll leave comments, "Oh, no, there's no food shortage, look at this," and they'll snap a picture and put it on Facebook. I'm like, "Son, a quarter of that ain't even food. It's pretend food. It's not real, you know? It's plastic or silicone, whatever y'all wanna call it, rubber. I don't wanna eat rubber fish sticks. If you like fish sticks, sorry about your luck, 'cause you ain't gonna be able to eat fish sticks for very much longer. You're gonna have to dive into the, Beyond Fish Sticks, which is in itself a scary thought, so it's just something to pay attention to. I know y'all were expecting, like, war, gloom, and doom and stuff, and we'll get into the Davos meeting and stuff, but this one kinda slid under the radar. I'm like, "Wait a minute. Seen this out of the corner of my eye," and I said, "Man, this on top of the other coincidences, something ain't right here." So again, that is and it could be. Don says it's in the chemtrails, the forever chemicals. That could be the case. Tie time, thank y'all. I guess we're still allowed to eat ramen noodles. I hope so, because 'cause I'm rocking the ramen noodle tie this morning. Thank y'all. Um, it is a spiritual battle. That's an excellent comment, flawlessly made. They don't want people to eat, if you can go out and you can deer hunt, and some of y'all trap, I don't trap, but some of you do. Or I fish, on the pole, which we'll get into. I fish occasionally. All right. I'm not out here every single day like a commercial fisherman, but I'm not like Prepper Tribe, just pulling them in one after another and leasing. Oh man, they can fish. But the point is they're taking all of the available workarounds away. And then they're gonna offer what they're gonna offer, and you're gonna eat what they're offering. Is the point I'm trying to make this morning. Arc Nanny, thank you very much. Seeing less wild rabbit also. Used to see even in town, game is disappearing in the wild. I'm still seeing squirrel, but now that you mention, I haven't seen rabbits in a while. I don't know if that's a weather thing or what. Um, Come springtime, I will have my eyes peeled for the rabbits though, because we normally see them everywhere. And I haven't, now that you mention, I haven't seen one in a long, long time. David, welcome to the live chat. Um, Tracy, so the fish no longer identifies food. The fish are smart enough not to worry about the identity thing, the identity crisis that human beings apparently are worried about. Um, some of it on the label in the store don't identify as food. No. Beyond it's all plant based, you know, plant based. Beer is what? I don't even know. What is it? Wheat, barley, something like that based. But there are a lot of other stuff in it, right? There's a lot of other stuff in it. What is in the plant-based stuff? I don't know. A virus wiped out the wild rabbits, Paradise Acres. I did not know that. That's interesting. That goes right here with the other coincidences. I did not know that. Thank you for that. Fish don't need pronouns. There you go. I got a prepper trucking. Now, seeing as how it's hump day, that can be taken many different ways. Prepper trucking says I got a cougar running around in my backyard. If this is a real cougar, you might want to load up, kind of scare it off or something like that. But, again, it's Wednesday. So who knows? Hunter Moon gets what I'm trying to say here. So anyway, at the Davos meeting, um, there are a couple of governors there that really kind of are out of place for a World Economic Forum meeting. We posted yesterday on Patreon. There was a list of congressmen and women, the usual suspects. I think Manchin was there. I think Cinema is there. They were making fun of her outfit or something. She looked like Daniel Boone. Anyway, the point is, Governor Kemp of Georgia is there at the World Economic Forum, um, supposedly to represent the economy of Georgia. That was an eyebrow raiser for me. And then Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan. Not really too shocked by that one, but those two why do we have governors at the World Economic Forum? Why do we have the FBI giving speeches? The director of the FBI was giving a speech at the World Economic Forum. How much more evidence do we need that everything is corrupt and that we are living a lie here in the United States? This is opinion. That's very suspect, Dark Angel. You're exactly right. The FBI, what business do they have at a World Economic Forum? These people are pretending to play country. They are not duly elected. They have no real power other than, hey, they're super rich and they hire private armies, like the Swiss. No, DeSantis isn't there, Prepper Medic. Not only is he not there, he put him on blast in a speech. He said the World Economic Forum and their platform was not welcome in the state of Florida. He said that on live TV. He ain't having it. And, that earns some respect with me when it comes to DeSantis. But anyway, during this speech, Davos, they've kind of gotten away from climate. It's weird. They've gotten away from climate change because that's all they always talk about, right? Yesterday, they were talking about right-wing groups, extreme right-wing groups. And they're focusing today, supposedly, on how to hit back against right-wing groups that are trying to, I guess, destroy their mission by spreading actual information and not propaganda. Who knows? So the elites are strategizing on how to hit back. That is their theme for today, and I'm going to help them out just in case one of them's a beaverine. I'm going to give them a little hint on how to hit back when it comes to the right wing. Pack a lunch, not the Beyond Meat, not the fake stuff. Not Hot Pockets. You're gonna need real food and lots of brass because I think people the question came up, yesterday in chat. They said, "Isn't it funny Soros wasn't there to open this thing up. Klaus wasn't there to open this thing up." And I think what's going on, this is opinion on my part, is I think they've been working in the shadows and behind the curtain for many, many years, and I think people are finally catching on to the fact that the WEF is in charge and they're trying to colonize everything, and that a lot of shady stuff is going down. And I think those two do not, in a way, they don't want to be associated with it, even though they are. You know what I mean? They don't want to be there publicly. They're trying to hide who's going in and out now. Rebel News is trying to film who's going in and out. So they have a record, a complete record. And the police are telling them you can't film in a free country where they're allowed to do so. So, I think there's too much spotlight being put, on Davos now or Davos, and I think there's too much spotlight on these elites. I think people are growing wise to it. You know what I'm saying? And I hope so. I hope so. And if that makes me an extreme right wingist because I want to know who's there, deciding my future, hey, I want to know. Call me whatever you want to call me. Um, I think they are too, Carrie. Yeah. Not me, Redfish, not me. He says, "Your neighbor, it's what's for dinner." Not this old boy. So heating and home utility bills are up. They're exploding right now. I can verify this firsthand. My wife's not too happy about it. But as I've told her, a lot of people are opening bills up right now, and they're like, "What's going on here? We being hustled here." Spring offensive. Just like we talked about yesterday, prep yourself because the spring offensive is going to increase this even more. A lot of people, I think, are trying to ride it out through the winter and they're going to hope for relief. Ain't no relief coming. This thing is going to spiral out of control. Thank you very much, Akeem. I appreciate that. People are waking up. I hope so, Guttermouth Granny. I really do. I hope that we put enough light on these people because evil works in darkness. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of your ladies of the night, your professional escorts, if you will, they're diving in on Davos. They do. This in the Super Bowl, one of the biggest weeks for that kind of stuff. And mainstream media is not going to report that, but it is what it is. A lot of bad things are happening here. as we called it yesterday, a Satanic Soccer. So just know that come spring, there's not gonna be a whole lot of relief. It could actually get worse on certain things. Your heating bill may go down or something like that. A lot of other stuff is gonna go back up. So you're gonna be paying the same amount when you break it down. But anyway, I gotta show y'all something else I've been running my mouth about. Show and tell. If you're interested in one, they're linked down below, but you can pick these up sometimes at military surplus stores as well. This is the black hole bag I've been telling y'all about. I know. Y'all probably thought it was gonna be something more fancy. Some people call them a Faraday bag or wet dry bag. So, it looks like a little magician sack here. See, you put a phone in here. Some people choose to put like, if you're backing stuff up on USB drives and things, because it's a Faraday bag, EMP proof, okay? You put the stuff in here, you fold it down a couple of times. Like I said, I use it in the car, and then you snap it, if I can see to do that. There you go. Once you have a phone in here, it's untraceable. It's EMP proof. I don't know how much a phone is gonna help you, after an EMP anyway. I think everything else is gonna be down, but USB and stuff like that, anything you don't wanna be fried in an EMP, anything you don't want to be digitally tracked, you can put in here. They do make the laptop size bags and stuff as well. This is a smaller one, but there you go. So now when I say a black hole bag, y'all that are in the house know exactly what I'm talking about. But this gets me onto our next topic because we were talking a little bit about this yesterday. To me, that's a low tech prep. I don't have to plug this in to get it to work. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room. This is kind of a primitive way to defeat technology. And so I'm going to ask the chat this morning if you're up for it. Watchman, what's going on? What are some more low tech preps that you would suggest to the folks in chat? And myself, Torch 114, thank you. Going to use a cyber attack. We're getting there. Oh man, you're spoiling it. As the excuse when all banks are closed. Thank you. I've actually got it right here after this. We'll get into that. You can never use the phone. If you ever use that, you'll be tracked. Um, yeah, Seabass, if you want to go somewhere and then come back and then take it out of the bag, it's untrackable in that way. But I see what you're saying. If you put it in there and then you drive and you go on vacation, the moment you open that bag, they're gonna know exactly where you're at. So, yeah, it is trackable once you take anything out. Candles, very good, Guttermouth Granny. That's a very low-tech prep and very inexpensive. Walking stick. Okay, Jay Miller. Good one. Mason jars. Oil lamps. Tourniquets. Red Dog, what's going on, brother? Crank and solar powered hand radio. This again with the black hole bags, the smaller emergency radios, that would be a good place. Okay, because even with an EMP, you would assume everything's down, but there might be a radio station or something up and running. There might be some kind of information coming across that you would be able to tune into. Um, but yeah, that's excellent. Solar and hand crank. Paper inventory of prepped items. Excellent. I see you, is the name. But let me say this, never, ever, ever sign up for an online program. I've seen some creators pushing this where you inventory your stuff and you keep like it's in the cloud. You keep a list of this online. Never, ever do that. And I'm sure I don't have to tell most of you that, but you'd be surprised how many people are out there that would think that because it's convenient, that's a great idea? Let me just pull up a list of all my preps on my phone while I'm at the store. Never do that. Okay. Because if you're able to pull those up, somebody that's more tech savvy than me can pull them up as well. Ranger beads, dual fuel stove. Um, John, do you own a battle rifle? Technically speaking, no, but, also yes, because I have some long rifles. And, they can be used in battle, but no, in terms of like an AR or an AK, no, I do not. Caesar says, "I'm 43, so I do things the old way." There's nothing wrong with the old way. The old way is preferred, because people tarps, that's a great one. People have gotten way, way too dependent on technology, and as we're getting ready to talk about, cyber attacks, thank y'all for spoiling that, whoever did that. Um, when that stuff fails, when your stuff fails because of cyber attacks, you're in serious trouble. CB radios, Steph L, some people like them, some people hate them. I actually do like them. Um, CB radios, I don't think that they would work after an EMP. I'm not sure on that actually, but I'm pretty sure CB radios would not be functioning after an EMP. Now, a cyber attack, we use them for weather events and stuff because my wife's grandfather used to plow snow all the time, and he would talk to other people at the CB radios, and he got stuck a couple times. They had to come pull him out. Torch 114 says won't. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that they wouldn't, but I didn't want to say that and not know exactly. Wool blankets, yes. Wool blankets, for those that don't know, I have one back here behind the camo netting. And it keeps the draft out. There's a tiny window back there, and you would never know it. I mean, it keeps the light and everything out too. McBean, okay, McBean says Seabees will if they were stored in a Faraday bag. Maybe, maybe a handheld version or something like that would actually be good to keep in a bag. Come to think of it, because if people are gonna be communicating with those after the fact, you could listen in. I don't know how much I would be communicating back and forth unless I knew somebody out there. Small two ways or bay of fangs in your Faraday bags are the best advice, Torch 114 says. Plastic sheeting and duct tape, Teresa, that's an excellent prep. We had to use some of that. Remember, we had this cold spell, like, what, a month ago, right around Christmas. We had to do that, and we had to wrap pipes. Um, and we had pipe wrapping and everything, and it's a good thing because when we went to the store, because I was gonna get a little extra and some duct tape, man, the pipe wrapping was gone. People had already wiped it out. Bleach is a very good one, comfortably numb, and also the bleach tablets you can get on the uh, washing aisle, with the clothes and stuff. Um, and they have an indefinite shelf life. Crossbow, yes, excellent. Extra socks and drawers. And that has to be a veteran right there. U.S. soldier for life. Extra socks and drawers. Usually the vets are the first ones that'll tell you socks, 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 socks. Skills. Aloe Farms, nothing wrong with that. Spam and paracord. Got both. The spam's not first or second choice, but it's over there if needed. Fishing equipment. I don't know, Larry. They might be outlawing it. Or I don't know that they would get to the point where they're gonna completely outlaw it, though, you know what I mean? I think it's more of a they're gonna try and scare as many people away from fishing as they can and kind of force them into the cattle gates of, the retail sector. Mr. Campbell Soup just laying down an FJB. So, thank y'all for those suggestions. As we mentioned a few minutes ago, I keep hearing World War III. I keep hearing nukes, tactical nukes in Europe. Maybe I don't see it happening here in the United States. But I do think the threat of an EMP or a massive, massive, large scale cyber attack is increasing by the day. The more we commit, because I mean, let's face it, Russia does this. They know how to cyber hack. They'll deny it, but they do it. The same with the Chinese. The more we get involved in the war in Ukraine, the higher the threat level goes for a massive cyber attack. Um, and it's hard to say what they would hit. I would be looking at the financial sector because I know that that can collapse it fast. I would be looking at infrastructure. They're bombing Ukraine's infrastructure right now, but they can kind of sort of bomb the United States infrastructure in a different way. They can knock the grid down via cyber attacks in many cases. So I would be prepping for that. If the lights go out for several weeks and you have no internet access, are you going to be okay? That sort of thing. You know, of course, stack food and water, but I mean, you can only stack, realistically, you can only stack so much food and water before it's time to start growing. It's time to start doing something else. And I'm not trying to push it on to anybody where you're going to end up starving to death. Please make sure you have enough food and water, but you can only stack so much. And then you got to start keying in on something else. And some people are keyed in on nukes. Some people are keyed in on different things. But for me, it's a cyber attack. And having the ability to sit at home during a cyber attack for 2 or 3 weeks, however long it takes them to get it fixed, and not be out amongst the chaos and the hooligans. Hooligans. I'm going to focus on water, Hunter Moon says. There are some excellent low price catchment systems. I reviewed one a while back, one that we have out back. It's just a rain barrel. Um, but I think it was $109 or $119 when we got it, but you can daisy chain them together. So the way it's set up is when one fills up, it starts flowing into the next one and just fills up down the line. And they are decorative looking, so they don't really stand out. I drive by houses sometimes and I'll see them. They've got the farm containers out there catching water, and I know immediately, that's a water catchment system. So these are a little more well hidden. Now I can't guarantee they're made in the United States or anything. I actually don't remember. They're probably made in China, but they're on Amazon. Just type in rain barrel or rain catchment. But that's a great way to do it if you get rain. IBC totes. Yeah, you can spot them a mile away, and we do have a lot of farms here. And most of the time they're used for farming. We actually have people that use them as huge trash cans too, just to let y'all know. They'll cut the tops off of old ones and stuff and just use them like a mini dumpster. But anyway, the thing is, you can spot somebody and it just, they don't have any farmland. They've got a third of an acre of land, grand total, small house, and they've got 4 IBC totes out back. And you're like, okay, yeah, I know what's going on here. I know exactly what's going on here, and so just be careful with that because in a certain situation, that can paint a target on you. If somebody else knows what you're doing, I would never do that, but I'm saying there are people out there that would target you because if you've thought far enough ahead to have a rain catchment system, you probably have other things. You're probably not just focused on that. You've probably got food, you've probably got medicine, you've probably got comms. This is what people are going to think when they see that and you're standing out. Yeah, Kelly says I hoard food grade 5-gallon buckets, get them free for work. We had to buy ours. I think we bought a couple at Firehouse Subs. The rest of them we bought, I think, at Rural King, but we use them. We have gardening beds. They're raised beds, but they're at a slant. I put something under two of the legs, so they're at a slight slant. So if we get a ton of rain or something, the water's coming back out. And then the valves are open on these, and we have 5-gallon buckets to actually collect water and stuff. So what do we got? What do y'all got in chat here? I guess I need to jump on the poll here. Well, I closed the poll. Never mind. I can't even pull it up. Can't pull the poll up, man. I think I'll go back and check, but I think most people are probably just going to keep on fishing. You know, um, the EPA report's there, but I think most people are going to gonna be outlaws about it anyway, either or. Get on that pole, son. I can't, Sergeant Rudy, and it's hump day. This is ridiculous. A roof leak, Smoky Blazer. No, that ain't no good. Thank you, Briar Patch. Hunting and fishing wins it with 45%. Y'all bailing me out. Thank y'all. Stop polling around. Oh man, it's too early for that. 33% on the second. I'm gonna assume, Carrie, that is you just fish sometimes. I did see that there were a few people that had voted for Greta says don't do it. Come on, man. I hopefully y'all are joking on that. Thank you, Cogito. 4% say Greta says not to do it. Greta got arrested the other day at there was a protest. She got arrested. She was not following orders. And I thought, Greta Thunberg, mark that off the 2023 bingo card, right? Greta Thunberg got arrested. Who voted for Greta? I don't know, Pilgrim. I didn't. I can tell you that. Fake arrested. Sarah, there did seem to be a lot of cameras there. I think it was maybe for all show and all that. Phony arrest and photo op. That's what Josie's saying as well. They sent Greta to the zoo. Oh man. I bet she was in the back of the car going wherever or truck going wherever she's going and she was yelling, "No, we're burning gasoline. We're killing the earth, son. Let me out." Greta should be fined $1,000,000. If it was Alex Jones, she would have been. She would have been in bankruptcy court over that one. All show. Yeah, most people are saying it's propaganda and it's all show. Just a way maybe to keep her in the news. I don't know. Build a pond. Mike Malone says build a pond. It would depend on where you're at. We got black bears. So if we build a pond, if we stock it, because we actually went through this, we had a family member that had a pond that was already there when they bought the property, but they stocked it and they couldn't catch any fish. They're like, "What's going on?" And then they finally caught him on cam. It was a black bear coming down, helping himself. So they do bring bears and stuff in. What's going on, Eric? Good morning. ABC Patriots up in the house. What's going on? How did Greta get to the protest? Porcupine Acres. I don't know. I don't know. Um, Maybe she got beamed down from the mothership. We have talked about making a small lake here on the farm, Dome Seeker. You should. Um, but don't make your husband do any of the work. I need his help. And Rob's counting on him as well. He's got other fish to fry right now. Don't sign him up for nothing. Then eat the bears. No, we didn't shoot the bear or anything like that. And occasionally they'll come out of the woods and they'll tear somebody's trash up or something, but normally they kind of stay into the tree line. You'll see them. I mean, this is not every night, folks. I'm not out here in the Alaskan bush or nothing. Um, every month and a half, maybe we'll see a black bear stumbling out of the woods for a few minutes, ripping stuff, off bushes and stuff to eat, and then he goes, or she. And then, of course, the wives and stuff are taking pictures, posting on Facebook because that's what they do. That's what they do. They probably do other stuff, but I don't listen. I got caught. I got caught not listening. Thank y'all for that. She skipped there. Lord Eagle, that's a visualization I don't need this morning. Greta skipping. Just look like, I don't know, propaganda poster. La la la. Bearskin coat. I've got coats, Outlaw Farms. I don't need a bearskin coat. Um, as a matter of fact, Outlaw Prepper, we were talking about clearing some land off that we have in the family and setting up a permanent campsite. And we seen enough bear to where we're like, I don't know if I want to stay in a teepee tent out there or not. I was kind of the one that backed out of that. I'm like, I don't know about that, man. German Ninja had bear come up behind me during rifle season. Sneaky. A lot of people here will carry 357s and stuff with them. I mean, they will carry something big enough to hit a bear just in case they run into a bear because it does happen when they're hunting. Out there squirrel hunting with a 22 and run into a huge bear, that's not a good situation to be in. Sally says bear meat is good. I've never had it. Never had it. I've heard, I have friends that have had it and they said greasy, very greasy. But it's up there with squirrel and possum. It's just not something that is very appealing to me. If you go out in the woods today, get ready for a big surprise. Why is that? There's nothing out there now. Bill Gates and his posse out there. Mm. Bear stew, it is food. Carrie says it is food. It is absolutely food. I mean, if it was bad enough, yeah, absolutely. Or if I was homesteading again in Alaska, that's one way to stock up a lot of meat fast. But I'm not in that situation. I would love, for the record, I would love to live in Alaska because it seems like it's pretty remote and people leave you alone there. Try moose. Huh. Yeah, I've never had moose, Mike. What animal gave up their skin for her leather clothes? I've no idea that. If y'all haven't seen the video of Governor Sinema, where's she the I don't even know what state she's the governor of. Um, forgive me, I can't remember. I know it's one of the woke states, but I don't remember which one. She looked terrible when she was giving the speech at the meeting in Davos. Um, the jacket that she was wearing Arizona, thank you, Glenwad. Man, that jacket. I don't know why you would own it, period, much less if you're in Arizona, because this thing looked like something that Davy Crockett would have been wearing. Skunk skin jacket. Pleather. Heather McFarland. I'm glad somebody else knows what pleather is. Uh, Pleather, for anybody that doesn't know, I thought I was the only one, like the only in this area. It's fake leather, plastic leather. Yeah, Paradise Acres, you're welcome. They're more fun for me because I get in chat more, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, I'll level with y'all. It's easier to hit record than it is to stay up for 3 hours taking notes and then do all the video editing and stuff. A 15-minute video takes 4.5, 5 hours sometimes, and that's no joke. And I don't even have all the fancy stuff many of the creators have. Um, I mean, and honestly, when we put our next camping trip together, I know Caveman's gonna go live. I'm probably gonna go live for a little while, and it's gonna be, like, very crude. We're just gonna have a cell phone. It'll be turned sideways, so there's no black bars, but I have a huge stand, like a professional stand that you put a cell phone in, and that's it. We'll just be live streaming with that, and whoever else shows up. I think Independent Marine was talking about coming. Pleather to the max. You're killing the earth with all that plastic though, man. What's your bear gun, Glenwad? My bear gun is a flashlight and get inside. Um, and I'm leveling with you. Our dogs are inside dogs, so when I walk them at night, I stay as close as I can to the house. It's well lit outside and all that, and, I'm aware of the surroundings, because even if you down a bear where I'm at, there gonna be a lot of questions asked when the po show up. Bear Bear Paw, what the irony here. Bear Paw, thank you. I was charged by brown bear, so with 2 cubs last year on Kodiak, had to turn her around 10 feet. That's a scary situation because if they got cubs with them, man, they're more unpredictable, you know? Um, I would not have wanna been in that, situation. Michelle 1776, thank you very much. I do too. But having said that, I've got a jet here, folks, and, believe it or not, the decanter is almost out of coffee. I still got some in my cup, but it's getting cold. I appreciate it, and I also appreciate the folks that watch these, videos after the fact. Not everybody can be here at a certain time every day, so I appreciate everything, I really do. I meant what I said at the beginning. This is the best community, not just in the prepping community, but on YouTube, son. All the communities, and that has very little to do with me and everything to do with y'all because y'all are freaking awesome. But God bless y'all. I'll see you in the morning. I have no idea what we're talking about. We'll see what happens in the news today. We'll see. All right. If y'all have any questions until then, just leave them as a comment or something and we'll get to them tomorrow. All right. Y'all take care and God bless.